You tell yourself you're lazy. You've said it 100 times, maybe more. You look at the unfinished project, the unread book, the email sitting in your drafts for 3 weeks, and you land on the same verdict every time. Lazy. But here's what nobody told you. The real answer is far stranger. You are not lazy. You are afraid. And your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Think about the last time you put something off. Not because it was hard, because it mattered. A hard conversation, a big decision, a project with your name on it, something that could go wrong in a way people would notice. Now think about the last time you scrolled for 40 minutes without deciding to. Nobody had to convince you to do that. That gap is not a character flaw, it's a wiring issue. And understanding the wiring is the first step to overriding it. In 1997, psychologist Piers Steele began compiling decades of research into a single question. Why do intelligent, capable people consistently delay tasks that are in their own best interest? What he found, published years later in a meta-analysis covering over 200 studies, is that procrastination correlates far more strongly with low confidence, distraction, and delayed rewards than with laziness. In other words, the people procrastinating were not short on willpower. They were short on certainty. Your brain did not evolve in a world of deadlines and inboxes. It evolved in a world of immediate threats and immediate rewards. A predator in the grass was worth reacting to right now. A harvest 6 months away was worth almost nothing to a brain built for survival today. This is called temporal discounting, and it still runs your decisions. A task that pays off next month feels almost imaginary compared to the comfort available in the next 5 minutes. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running software built for a world that no longer exists. Here's the twist almost nobody talks about. Procrastination isn't about the task. It's about the feeling the task produces. Psychologist Fushia Siroi has spent years studying this exact mechanism, and her research points to something uncomfortable. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. You are not avoiding the work. You are avoiding the discomfort you associate with the work. Doubt, boredom, fear of doing it wrong, fear of doing it and still not being enough. So you scroll instead. Not because scrolling is more important, because scrolling doesn't ask anything of you. And every time you choose the easy relief over the hard task, your brain logs it as a successful strategy. Discomfort avoided, reward received. Do it again tomorrow. This is why procrastination isn't a single bad decision. It's a loop that gets stronger every single time you feed it. Breaking a loop like that with more guilt doesn't work. Researchers have found that self-criticism after procrastinating actually increases the odds you'll procrastinate again. The shame doesn't build discipline. It builds a stronger urge to avoid the discomfort next time, because now the discomfort includes your own judgment of yourself. So, what actually works? Reduce the size of the first step until it's smaller than your resistance. Not write the report, open the document. Not have the hard conversation. Send the first text. Your brain resists big, undefined tasks because they feel like threats with no clear edges. A small, specific action doesn't trigger the same alarm. There's a reason elite performers talk less about motivation and more about starting rituals. A specific first move, done the same way every time, skips the negotiation with your own resistance entirely. You don't decide whether to start. You just do the one small thing you always do first. This is the piece most people miss. Motivation was never going to save you. It's unreliable by design, tied to mood, sleep, stress, 100 variables outside your control. Discipline isn't the opposite of motivation. It's what steps in when motivation doesn't show up, which is most days. Think back to the task you've been avoiding. It probably isn't as large as it feels in your head right now. What feels large is the emotional charge around it. The task itself is usually just a series of small physical actions. Open the file, write one sentence, make the first call. Your ancestors weren't more disciplined than you. They didn't have the luxury of an inbox to avoid. Their environment forced action because inaction had immediate consequences. Yours doesn't. That's not a weakness in you. That's a mismatch between your brain's old operating system and the world you're actually living in. You can't wait for that mismatch to fix itself. You have to work around it on purpose every single day. Next time you call it laziness, stop. Ask what discomfort you're avoiding. Name it. Shrink the task until the first step is too small to be scary.